guys, welcome to the channel. It's Adam at MD72. So today we got my E55 back in the garage. So today we're going to be doing some maintenance, a little bit of something that's broken, but not fully broken yet. Some preventative maintenance. This is something that you guys could do at home with some small rented tools. So today this is not going to be a performance video. This is just going to be a straight up how-to, relatively quick, showing you the few things of what we're going to fix. So what we got right here is the condenser. The condenser on my E55 is literally ripped in pieces. I had a leak, it finally broke, I need to get it repaired. This one is from Amazon, they're like 120 bucks. This should also work on E320s, E500s, E55s, maybe the 350s, don't quote me on that, but this is a simple job. Now one thing I will say, you do need to get the system vacuumed, and you guys need to get all the old refrigerant out if you haven't already leaked it out. Do not just dump it in the atmosphere. Please guys, don't do that. But let's kind of get to the repair. It's going to be a fun little quick video. So, before you even start this repair, before you start it, I'm going to say it again, go get this whole system pulled out of all the refrigerant. So either go take it to your Tire Kingdom, Tire Plus, somewhere. I think they'll charge like $50 to recover it, maybe more. Or go rent yourself a unit. Unless yours is already out in the atmosphere like mine's already leaked out over time. So I'm not going to worry about it. But step one, you need to get this front piece off. You have a series of 10s that are all throughout this. Just start whizzing them out. Now that you got all those, these will pop up. And you could just, whoops, roll that up front. Now you can actually see your condenser pretty good. So there's your condenser. They're pretty easy to pop out. One thing that we are going to do first you're going to undo the lines on the bottom, and I'm going to show you what's broken on mine. If you could see, you'll see a lot better once we pull it all out. You got, right here. Let's try to get right, oh yeah, there's a good, hold on. Right there, you got a 10 mil. See that right there? That should be a 10 mil right in the center of the screen. We're going to get that bad grout, and these are the lines. There's O-rings in there. Pop them out. Remember, you should already be empty of your refrigerant. All right, so we got the two lines off. Weren't too bad to get off, but you're just going to back them out like this. Make sure you remember which one goes where, and then now you got all the lines off from the bottom. Okay, next what we got are these clips right here. So if you look how they are, you got to squeeze them in, and then this will pop out. You got those on here, so you got them in 4 spots. Let me kind of show you on this one. So, all right, here's the new one. Actually, if I remember, it's 2 spots. That one, and then these should just slide in. So we should be able to lift this up from the front afterwards. Let's get those squeezed out and see how easy it comes up. All right, now that you kind of cleared it, this thing will drop down a little bit. And now just kind of wiggle it out. So I also have the front mount heat exchanger, which is going to be in the way, and my power steering stuff. So you guys literally just got to keep wiggling it through and just get it out. All right, we got the old one out with some sliding. So this is where I had the issue. So basically mine's separated from here. No really clue how, but this was a really old unit. I did get in a wreck at one point. Maybe that's what it's from, but no matter what, we got nice new hotness. We're going to throw it in there. It comes with this weird stud over here. I think it's supposed to go over here, but we'll check. All right, that stud goes right here to put that nut back on. So basically to install this reverse order, yes, mine came a little bit banged up from Amazon, but everything should be good. So we're just going to do the reverse order. These do look a little bit different than mine, but I'm hoping they bolt up anyways. We should be good, so have at it. All right, one thing I want to show you. See right here, remember that clip that I said kind of drops in? It kind of drops up. So this clip actually, man, if you could see it, that thing goes up into it. So you got to, if you want it from the top, you need to drop down first, then pull up. Or you could drop it down from the bottom, your call. So now we got those all clipped in. We can start putting my aftermarket tranny cooler in and power steering. And now hook up back the lines on the bottom and start putting a vacuum on this bad girl. Okay, now that we got the condenser all in, we did also find one of the lines from the condenser, the O-ring was kind of messed up, so we replaced the O-ring. Those are simple and cheap. I'll show you what I actually bought. Just get an O-ring kit off Amazon. I've had this for a while. They're like $10. And whenever you're doing any of this AC stuff, just expect to maybe have one bad O-ring somewhere, so just plan for it. They're cheap, inexpensive, and even if you want the actual Mercedes ones, I think they're like $1. It's not that much, but now we're going to do a very important part that most people don't do. We're going to vacuum the system out to put it under the vacuum to get any moisture out of the system. This is super important to do, especially if you had the unit or system open for any amount of time, like a day or something, or even a week. So this whole kit, you could get both these kits. You get them at O'Reilly's or AutoZone. They're roughly $500 to rent. So you get them from 2 to 3 days and you get all your money back. Now, they didn't used to be $500 to rent. They used to be about $250, $150, but I just rented this setup today and it was $500, but it's a must. You get your money back, so use it. Let me show you how easy it is to use. It's something definitely you want you to get. So on us, we have R134. So everything's basically labeled red, red, blue, blue, blue. High is red, low is blue. You can't really mess these lines up. They even say R134 on them. Let me see if they'll zoom in. Yeah. So you're going to hook high and low up. Crank these bad girls down. Then you're going to come up this side of the line. Crank these bad girls down. And then you're going to add the yellow to your pump. So we already did this a few times, but I'm going to do it again. So you're going to open it. So these are going to be opened. Okay, let me rephrase that. These opened, those closed. So you open these up and you should start off somewhere in the 3s. This was actually already under a vacuum, so this might not be a good representation. Let me kind of break these loose. So I'm breaking it loose. You can hear the air coming out. So my system was already pretty good. All right, so we break that loose. Let's break this one loose. And you can see the needles go up. All right, so crank that. Oh, my hood's falling. Okay, now that you got that all set up, watch what the gauges actually do. You're going to see, like, right now we are at, this is basically ambient, so it's over 0. So then when we come over here, oh yeah, make sure you put oil in these bad girls. Where's the oil? Make sure they have oil in it. So we're going to go turn this on, and you'll actually see it drop. Let me have you focus. As you see, it's pulling a vacuum on each side. So my system was open for quite a bit, so I'm going to run this for roughly 2 effing hours. And then we're going to show you how to use this system to test, make sure you have any leak before you spend the money on actual Freon. So I'm going to do a quick, like, 2-minute vacuum test. Flip that bad girl on. And then we're going to show you how to do the leak test on this. Once again, these take 2 to 3 hours, but we're fast forwarding to show you the fast version. So remember, this is the fast version of it. So what you want to do, we let this run for like 3-4 minutes. It's pulling a vacuum. The longer we let go, it'll pull more, but this is just for testing. So then you're going to, while testing, have that bad girl still on. Very important. Crank these down. Make sure it's tight. I think my hood shocks aren't really supporting this. Crank that down. There you go. This is what you're really looking for. So we got all that cranked down, all that. You're going to shut your pump off. And then let this sit for roughly 2 hours. And come back. Make a notation of where it was. You want it to basically stay there perfectly. Mainly you want it to never go back into 0. That means you lost all the vacuum. But you want that needle not to move really on either side. High side's a little bit harder to tell just because it's just barely past there. On the low side, you actually get readings. So just let that sit there for a few hours. This is how long mine actually has been sitting. My system been opening. If you look at, we have a nice little friend. No clue what kind. If you even focus, can you guys even see that spider? No clue what kind of spider that is. But yeah, I live kind of in a wooded area, so yeah, animals grow all over. This is probably after a day, maybe 2 days of that hood being up. So let's keep cranking this bad girl. All right, so we got the whole system under a vacuum. Now we're going to start adding Freon. There's multiple other ways to do this. I'm going to show you the way that I just like to do it. Just get simple for me to do this way. And then we're going to see how cold we get this bad girl. So very simple. Just go to Walmart. These are like $15. I get roughly 3 of them because I always could kind of store some. And I got this just AC gauge that I had from way back when. We're going to fire up the car, put the AC on, and start filling that bad girl up. All right, we've got 1 bar in. And we are... Where are we at? I'm trying to get it. 68, 69. Would it be a 90 out? Come on. So we're going to add some more Freon, get it to the right pressure and right temperature. Alright, so on the low side, we're hitting, focus. Oh, that one even focus in. Right around 45, which is kind of low for this temperature. So I'm going to have to go get another bottle. But it's not doing bad. For like in the car, we're at like, we're blowing out 58, 50, yeah, 58. 57, so a little bit colder on this side. That's kind of always going to be it. We're going to let it run for a little bit. We're watching other data and stuff like that. Granted, it's getting like almost no airflow in this garage. We definitely should be getting more airflow. We have quite a bit of fans over it, but it's just sucking in the hot air from the garage. So I do want to get one more can. Granted, we only use roughly 2, so I want to kind of add that other one. I don't remember how many are actually in this can, but it looks like a little bit low for this temperature. But I'd rather drive it around a little bit just to make sure I don't have a leak or nothing, because it's blowing pretty cold. It's 90 degrees outside, and it's blowing inside like you saw in like the 50s. So that's not bad. All right, after letting it go for a while, we get down to like 54, which is a pretty good temp, even though we're in a garage, no airflow, in 90-degree temps. So that's doing a condenser on a E55. This will also work on a E500, most likely an E320. Any of the W211 chassis that kind of similarly have this. I know they did a re-up in like 2006. I think it's the same stuff, but more or less it's just unbolting and rebolting stuff on. So hopefully you guys liked the video. This car definitely needs AC for being 90 to 100 degrees here in Florida. We're going to be taking this back to the drag strip. We do have some other cool stuff for this. We have a torque converter for it. We got a lot of tranny stuff to try to break it into the 10 seconds. So hopefully you guys liked the video. And before you go, we're going to give you a little bit bonus, little noise. That sound right there is a big reason why I still like these M11 3K cars. The M11 2s do sound pretty good also, but the 3s just sound so good with that supercharger. So like I said, hopefully you guys like the channel. There's going to be more of this bad girl coming up, and I'll catch you guys next time.